3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome back to the Living Colors Show / podcast / whatever you want to call it with Matt Woodward. I'm happy to be back here for another installment on this crazy Thursday afternoon here in Colorado. It's been snowing all day today. It snowed all day yesterday. And this is not the weather I was hoping for, in mid-April. I mean, obviously you can't do anything. We're all quarantined inside, but you just never see the weather. I've never, at least I have. I've never seen the weather change like this before in my life. It changes so drastically. You can't even describe it. Like it'll be 70 for a few days in a row, mid 60s, lower 70s for a few days in a row. And the next thing you know, it drops to 20 degrees overnight, and you wake up to snow on the ground. But with that being said, the snow doesn't seem to really last, though. You notice sometimes that you'll wake up the following day after it'll snow, and it'll just the snow will be melted. It's something I've never really seen before, like these crazy Colorado weather changes. But man, like I said last week, it's crazy how much you can really see how much things change in a week. It changes by the day at this point, and I think now during this quarantine period, you kind of see the value of entertainment. Really, just being stuck inside, there's really nothing to do unless you have like a spacious place to live, or like a spacious house or space. I mean, I'm sort of fortunate enough to where I have like a nice, a good size property to explore, really, I guess, or in a nice area in a town to explore that I can walk down to. But you can't really do anything like that now, and I'm living in a small town here in Colorado, and I just feel I feel like I don't know how some of these places are gonna survive, really. And talking to some of the business owners here, I only really know one of them, and she happens to own the liquor store here, which is great. She's an amazing lady, and she's there pretty much every day. And even then, she was telling me she kind of relies on some of the show money that comes through through town with some of these fans that come through. They might stop by the store before or after the show and pick up something, and without there obviously be concerts around, it's tough to see how you make up for that revenue, that loss in revenue. I hope that we can figure things out. I hope that there's some sort of way out of this, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of enjoying some days of it, I guess. Some days I'm trying to be positive and being a good mindset and trying to take advantage of it and do this and do that. And then there's some days where I'm just sitting there, I'm not doing anything. And I'm just kind of hanging out on the couch and, just really not getting much done. And that's, I think it's easy to fall in those little slumps or those little traps, and especially now, I'm recording this on April 16th. So in some states, it's the stay-at-home orders till May 15th. I know, my home state of Vermont, shout out to everybody back home in Vermont, the stay-at-home orders till May 15th. Governor Phil Scott issued that stay-at-home order a few weeks ago, I believe. Or maybe, I think it was a few weeks ago. And so I'm assuming that where I'm at out here in Colorado, that things are going to sort of fall on that similar path where everybody's gonna at least have to stay at home until May 15th. I thought it'd be like June 1st, and that's sort of being optimistic, just because you don't know like the situation. But at the same time, you kind of see how much, already, how much the economy, like how much of a toll it's taken on the economy, and how especially on these small businesses and restaurants, and a lot of these people rely on, they're not getting paid a lot of money to work there, and they're relying on tips to get by. And yeah, I really feel for these people. I feel fortunate to just have like a full-time job right now, apart from working at Red Rocks as a camera operator. I feel fortunate just to have something to go to, and just be getting paid still. And even it's not as if I'm like making the most money, but it's enough where I can live right now, without having to rely on getting a second job. But even still, I'm even getting to the point where I'm thinking about getting a second job, just because I have that extra time where I feel like I could be doing something, like there's those days where I have like a day off or something, where I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm, in like a mood or something, moping around. And I feel like that's when maybe I could do something. And, but at the same time, I don't know if I wouldn't want to be working, in a store though, like right now, and much love to everybody who is, I have a ton of respect for you, because I kind of know what it's like. I worked at a gas station for a few years, in high school and in early college, and it's a tough industry, obviously. It's not easy, but those jobs you see now in a time like this, is kind of going back to the value of entertainment, like. You see, though, like you realize the importance of it, and where you'd be without it, because if you were in this quarantine right now and you didn't have anything to watch or any games to play or any music to listen to or anything like that, what would you be doing without it? I mean, sure, there's other things to get you, by the day, but eventually, you're gonna go crazy even with it. Even with the surplus of entertainment, I love how I'm like focused in entertainment, because it's just so easily. It's like I feel like that's a Vermont thing where you're just like entertainment, and you just kind of skip over a couple letters there. But no, I just feel like there is an importance of it, entertainment, but at the same time, like you got to realize that maybe some of these people are being overpaid in some of these professions, like you do have to take into account, there's so many factors going into like revenue being made and all that. But at the same time, you kind of realize who's important and, or what's important and what's not, and these people working at these stores, where would you be without them right now, and even I try to even just say thank you to all like the door greeters and all the people who are just like there with the little, I'm sure you've seen them by now, the little iPads, or, just counting whoever walks into the store and counting numbers there just to make sure it's not too many or at a certain time. And thankfully I haven't had to like wait in any lines, because if I had to wait in a line, I don't think there's no way I'd be waiting in a line, I couldn't do it right now. I couldn't do it before, but even now, it's like there's so many other options you can go to, and there's so many other better options you could go to. So yeah, waiting in line right now, it's not even really an option for me. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try to utilize some of the time off, but I also want to figure out a way to utilize it better, because like I said, I am falling into those funks, and it is easy because I'm just kind of out here. Like not by myself, because I know people out here, but I'm living by myself now, and I actually, I'm enjoying it, but yeah, it's just like it'd be easier, I feel like, if it was, obviously if you weren't going through this. I mean, obviously. But no, I'm one of the reasons why I'm like happy and excited is because I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to start this, and it's obviously kind of, it's sort of in like a little bit of a weird stage where I'm just trying to start it up right now. And I'm just trying to, I don't really have graphics. Eventually I want to maybe have like a rundown on the side of the screen, on either. I'm trying to figure out like what would make it look. I don't know about the best, but like I'm just trying to make it look something that would, fit what I'm trying to do. And thankfully, I actually was fortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to see the stimulus went into one of my bank accounts there. So seeing that extra $1,200, it was big. I really wasn't expecting it at all. I knew that, it would eventually come. Like it would eventually come down the line somewhere. But I was really kind of like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, I'm not really banking on anything at this point. But yeah, when I went to work the other day, everyone at work was just like, "Yeah, check your bank account. My stimulus went in today." And I was like, "Are you sure? Like yours went in?" And they're like, "Yeah, yours didn't." And I was like, "I haven't really checked, And then next thing you know, I'm $1,200 up. So it's a good feeling. I gotta say that. It's I'm gonna try to find ways to make the most of it. I'm assuming this won't be the only one because there's so many people out there right now that are really struggling. And I think this is not the beginning, but we're kind of in the middle of it. And I don't think we're near the end, obviously. And so I think there's going to have to be more done there's going to have to be more funds than $1,200, especially for some of these families out here. I know that families are getting more than $1,200. I think they're getting $500 per children. But even still, like that's obviously not going to be enough. And you gotta make the most of every dollar at this point. And that's exactly what I've been trying to do. Even, probably since mid to late February, I've been trying to, I've been really trying to be focused on saving my money, even though I don't have a lot, obviously, saved up right now. But it's not a little, but, it's not where I wanted it to be. But I've been really trying to be focused on saving every dollar, especially in the time that we're in right now. You really have to, because you just never know what's gonna happen. Like I'm assuming like the job that I have is I don't want to say essential enough, but I guess essential enough where that it'll stay afloat. I know that it will. And I have all the faith in Will, and no one's really worried. I'm not getting paranoid about it, but it's just you just don't know right now. You just see so many people that are out of work, and it's like I'm at the point where if I were to lose like the full time my main job, I wouldn't have a job right now. I'm not I wouldn't have anything, so I would have just another probably works paycheck that would come through after I'd work, and then then I'd have like the stimulus probably, and then like some money saved up. And I was really like I did have some saved up already, which was good. It wasn't like I said, it wasn't as much as I wanted, but I was hoping to have like a great summer, obviously, and but there's bigger things than that, like who gives a damn about the summer, You know what I mean? The health of everybody is more important than the fucking summer. You know what I mean? So, and oh yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, there's actually that kind of reminds me, just like even just swearing that, like I'm not, when I swear, I'm not really like trying to. Sometimes it just like flows. Like I feel like I could be swearing way more than I am. I'm just trying to be kind of like sort of conscious, obviously, about what I'm saying. You can't just start ripping F-bombs and all that. But I do, like I said in the first episode or two, I'm trying to just do what I want and say what I want. And I am gonna eventually drink on the podcast. Maybe smoke a little on the podcast, like all that. That's what I do. And that's what most people do. And they might not just do it, in the open, but I might not just do it like this, because this isn't like what I'm ultimately trying to do. And that's what I also said before. Like, I'm ultimately trying to do, so many things. I'm trying to, like, maybe do, like, live, maybe integrate, like, live music into this, where I could, like, do, like 20-minute, 30-minute sets. Because right now, obviously, you can't. And one of the reasons why I keep looking up is it's been snowing all day. Like I mentioned before, here out in Colorado, and all day here today, all day yesterday. And, obviously that's why, I'm inside now. But when it's the summer, I'm trying to be outside because it's so nice out. And, that's why I'm trying to, integrate some live music, maybe do that for 20, 30 minutes and get back to, like, talking for a little bit about different subjects. And, maybe, have, like, a rundown of, like, topics, to go through, maybe to do, like, 20, 30 minutes freewheeling, kind of like what I'm doing now. Because right now, I don't have a script or anything. I'm just talking. This is me just freewheeling off the top of my head, staring into a Canon Rebel camera with a microphone here. You know what I mean? Like, this is me I'm just going right now. And, I just wanted to get it started. That was a big thing. And even today, it's taken me a minute to just, kind of get going, but I think it kind of gives me incentive because I'm kind of like get my thoughts out in a way that, I probably normally wouldn't, or like just talking in a way that I normally wouldn't. And even still, I have thought about even just doing like, live streaming, I guess. This chair is like, so you probably, I don't know if you can hear it. This chair is so squeaky, but no, I was actually even thinking about just doing even like live streaming, like maybe doing like a live Facebook stream and a live YouTube stream at the same time while also recording this, but I do need to find a way to like record better, and I do need to find a way to like, I guess, put the whole thing together better, because the way I'm doing it now, it's not so much that it's tedious. It's just, it's not the most proficient, and it's kind of, I think it's getting in the way of more shows that can be done, and it's not to say that I couldn't do more now with the style and the way that I'm doing it, the format, but it's more that it's just, I think I need to I just need to like get a different, get just like a different way of like exporting things, and I don't know, just a different way of doing things. But no, I'm happy to be back here doing this, even though it's in this time. And like I was gonna mention earlier about like the whole swearing there. It brought me back because I talked on the phone there with my grandma the other day. For the first time in a few months, which was amazing, and it felt so good to hear my grandma's voice and talk to her. I talked to her for probably almost an hour, I think, and it's with my Uncle Mark. Shout out to my Uncle Mark and my grandma. Love you guys out in Plattsburgh, New York, there, and shout out to Plattsburgh, New York crew and everyone out in Plattsburgh, in the upstate, in the North Country. In Vermont, shout out to you guys as well. But no, just talking to my grandma, and she was just saying, I'm gonna be 90 this year. Can you believe that? And that, I didn't know that she was gonna be 90. And that just blew my mind. when she told me that, and I was like, wow, just thinking like where like the time is gone, and now that my grandpa has passed away a year 2 years ago, I believe now, and she's just been living at the house still by herself, and and still getting visitors come around, and just know that she it's in this time, and I was really looking forward to coming home in August and late July and to early August there, and then for Christmas and seeing her and everybody and surprising her and just having a great time, and now it's totally obviously up in the air, and I don't even know if I'd want to put her at risk. And that's one of the things that even when I was talking to her, I had to remind myself. It's like, yeah, I feel bad for all these small businesses, and they can't be out for forever because they may never come back. They might be done, but then you realize, like, I'm talking to my grandma, and she's telling me that she's gonna be 90, and like, are we gonna rush back and then we're gonna put someone like my grandma at risk, and like that's something I would never want, and so I don't know. It's such a crazy scenario that we're in time that, yeah, I don't know. I was really looking forward to going home, and I still may go home, but that's the only thing is just like, you just don't know. Even flights right now, I believe from Denver to Burlington, Vermont, are like a little over $100. You can basically nothing, and that same flight was over 400. Not even a month and a half ago. It was almost 5, I believe. So these airlines are desperate for people to try to come back. And I just wonder how it's all gonna happen. I don't know. It's a weird time, but one of the things though that actually kind of made it a little easier for me, I will say, it's nice. I keep reaching over here because I'm trying to just see where I'm at. I'm trying to make sure everything's still going. Oh, see, I'm smacking things now. I'm just whacking the mic over here. Jeez. No, but I'm just trying to see where I'm at. Like, make sure everything's still recording. Make sure I'm not just talking and looking like an idiot and talking to nothing, even though I might be talking to nothing. I don't know. I might just be talking in the air, but I hope I'm not. I hope I'm talking to you out there, and I hope that you're still doing well and positive. But yeah, one thing that's getting me by right now is the Strokes' new album, The New Abnormal. It is amazing. If you guys haven't heard of the Strokes, it's a New York City rock band, and they're back and they're better than ever right now. I wouldn't say better than ever, but they're back. They're right there right now. It's the New Abnormal. It has some really good songs, and it kind of has some angles like Strokes. If you're familiar with the Strokes, you might know. And some like Is This It, like their classic debut album, and Room on Fire. So it has a little bit of everything. So if you're a fan of the Strokes and indie music or rock music or just good music in general, you should definitely check out the Strokes. And I was hoping to do just like a review for it, but I'm not sure if I'll have time to really get to it. But that's one of the things, like I've mentioned in the previous shows, that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actually, I'm trying to do reactions and reviews to new music, or even just music that's recommended from maybe people out there, or something that or things that I might find, just trying to just expand my horizons with what I'm trying to do with this, and how I'm trying to, take advantage of this time off, and even still just going forward, like what I'm trying to do ultimately. And that was one of the things that, is one of the reasons why I wanted to start like a show in the first place. I wanted to, react and review to new music and do all that. And yeah, I'm excited just to try to start this and get this going and actually get like a real sort of setup going. It's taken some time, but we're really getting there. But another thing that I wanted to talk about before before I go, and it's kind of tying it all up together. There is, with these, with like entertainment in general, I don't see like concerts and all that coming back anytime soon. Any sort of large gathering. I know they're trying to bring the sports leagues back, without fans, I believe, to start. And I know like they're really pushing for. I know the president is pushing for it. President Trump. But I don't know. I don't see how that's. I don't see really how it's. Maybe it'll be possible if they can get everybody tested, but they got to have the right amount of tests for the general public for it to really, I mean, you can't always be PR friendly, for everything, I guess. But you got to look out, I guess, for the normal person too at a certain point, and at a certain point, these organizations and these organizations, I don't know what that, these organizations and these leagues and these corporations, they're gonna have to realize that, they've been getting greedy for a long time. They've been charging way more exorbitant amounts of money, just to go to games and to park at games and to get a water at games or concerts or a beer at a concert or anything. Like, they've been charging so much for so long that, it's time. It's kind of time where they start being more consumer friendly, I guess. And one of the reasons why I'm even bringing this up is just because I saw the mayor of LA said that he thinks it's likely that concerts aren't coming back till summer, fall of 2021. And that would be, not only would that hurt me because I work at Red Rocks as a camera operator right now, in part-time in the but it would I think that would devastate. I mean, it's already devastating the music industry and just the entertainment industry, obviously. And now you're seeing it with companies like Ticketmaster, where they're kind of saying that they're gonna try to issue refunds, but it's not guaranteed to all these postponed events. And there's a big uproar, and I understandably so. If I was someone who just spent $100 or God forbid more than that at an event for a few months down the line, and all of a sudden it gets canceled, and now especially if you paid that like extra bit of money to get the ticket insured, if you paid all that and now all of a sudden that event's postponed or canceled, now you can't get that money back. But I was talking with someone the other day, and they said that if you do pay that extra bit amount for the ticket insurance, I believe you get the ticket, the amount that the ticket would cost. I believe you get that money back, but the amount that you paid in insurance, that's what like a company like Ticketmaster would take in, instead of like the full pie per se. But yeah, I just think I don't think concerts are gonna come back anytime soon. I hate to say it, but I don't know if they're gonna come back this year. I don't have any insight. This isn't me talking like I know anything or have anybody telling me any sources or anything like that, any inside information. But I just don't see. Even if they do come back, are you gonna go to a concert out there? Are you gonna go to a game or a stadium with 60,000 people? I don't think so. I don't think I will. And that's something I was really looking forward to doing this whole summer, and that's something I've been doing this whole winter and before, because it's kind of a way for me to like meet people, because I'm not having a hard time meeting people. Maybe I am a little bit, but it's kind of, yeah, it's like a way to get out of the house and do something and be entertained, obviously. And yeah, I don't see anything like that coming back anytime soon. And not only because people don't want to be in big crowds, but do people want to spend that kind of money anymore? I don't know. And I think that's something that we're going to find out sooner rather than later. I think that, you know, in time like this, it's like it's almost like that's so far out of the like question almost. You know, you're kind of like and that's something that you still see if you look online right now. You'll still see if you follow like venue pages or just like anything like that. You'll see like they're trying to reschedule shows into October. But that's just kind of like, that just seems like a guesstimation at this point. That's not, they're not really sure themselves, you know? So, I think we're taking a big hit right now, you know? I think it's only going to get bigger, potentially. And, well, I think it will get bigger, you know, if this obviously continues for months and months, because, you know, the summer months is obviously more profitable than the winter months, just because, like, you're at, especially in terms of concerts and the music industry. It's because people are more apt to, you know, travel or, you know, go out in the summer than they are the winter, and it doesn't seem like anything is going to come back anytime soon, especially for this summer. You know, any big event. If you're planning on going to any big event, you might as well try to get your money back now if you haven't already. Because if you haven't already, you might be pretty much done already. But you might as well try, because better than nothing. Better than having these people having, you know, your money in their pocket. So that's how I'm kind of feeling about that. I'm trying to see where we're at here, see if this thing is, we're still going, we're still rolling. All right. Yeah, there really isn't like a whole lot going on in the world besides, I know the NFL draft. I know the NFL is still trying to host their draft next Thursday, I believe, on ABC and ESPN, but I don't know how that is going to work. Just because I believe they're going to try to do Zoom with all these teams. And if you know anything about Zoom already, like, these Zooms are being hacked. Like, some of these Zoom conferences, you know, are being hacked by some of these just random hackers out there. Some of these kids. In some scenarios, there are actually teenagers and kids out there doing this, you know. And so I know that they're concerned about, like, how are they going to be able to, you know, mitigate that at the same time, not deal with lag issues, and at the same time, not have like delays in everyone's in certain streams where, you know, you're not able to make a pick in time, or you might have to extend the time for a pick, or, you know, there's a whole lot of scenarios in this, and you got to think that the NFL is really considering it all, or has already considered it all, and they're still going, you know, full steam ahead with it. They don't give a damn, and it's kind of, you know, you kind of gotta respect it a little bit, because they're trying to provide some sort of entertainment. There it is again. They're trying to provide some sort of entertainment, but, you know, at the same time, they're risking a lot with this. They're risking. I wouldn't say they're risking their brand, you know, but in a way they're willing to compromise it, right? You know, if they were to get hacked. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what the NFL does. I'm assuming that they're just gonna continue on. You know, like, things are just gonna full steam ahead with it. They're no slowing down, because I think, you know, they're kind of locked in with it. There's really nothing else that's going to compete with it. I'm assuming that they're banking on a very high viewership and a very high rating. You know, that's why they're kind of going along with it. But, you know, and you just to see how much, like, their plans have changed, because if you remember originally, I don't know if you out there, the listener or the viewer, follows along with the NFL, but they originally wanted to have it outside the Bellagio in Vegas, I believe, and then have the draftees, or the players that are drafted, just boated across, like, the Bellagio little pond or whatever that they have. uh, and just boat them across to like a little dock where they would have like the podium and all that, and then where they'd have the commissioner. But obviously this, and I believe it was approved by the city of Vegas, which is pretty crazy in and of itself. But Vegas, they're really, really, willing to risk it, all for whatever. But just to see how much and their draft plans have changed, you kind of have to, expect the NFL to be all in on this. Like that, there's really no backing out now, and I'm assuming that TV time slot that they have, segmented it out for that Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week, like that's locked in, and I'm assuming that they really can't back out now. So, in a way, like they have to do it, but can they use Zoom now? Because if they do, there's almost a guarantee of technical, difficulties and it crashing. And one of the executives on one of these franchises out there, and you have to expect that. But at the same time, they can't have a camera crew at every first round draft prospect's house, or potential draft prospect's house. You can't have that. Maybe the top 10, guaranteed, like maybe the Joe Burrows and Chase Youngs of the world, maybe players like that, and but you kind of in a way it's kind of like a baby step into like the future, I think, because like this is what it could be, but obviously it's better to have what the draft is before, where everybody's there, in the green room, and they come out and they hug the commissioner, and he gets booed every single pick and every single time. and yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Joe Burrow, I do believe he's going to go number 1 overall to the Bengals. He's an Ohio kid. I don't think they're going to pass up on him, especially after the season he had winning the Heisman at LSU. But it's going to be interesting because I know teams are interested in Joe Burrow and interested in trading up. And I can only assume that, one of them is going to try to make that move. I know the Dolphins are one of them. But then now you're hearing the Dolphins are more interested in Justin Herbert out of Oregon, more so than Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama, with all Tua's injury problems. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And, as I said before, I hope, I do hope things like get back to normal, and that like this draft can sort of, not to say that, it brings everybody a sense of normalcy, but that kind of gives you like a sort of, like a little break, I guess, in this. It gives you a little time to get your mind off things. And, I was even, even before this, yesterday and maybe the day before, I wasn't in like a bad mood, but I was just kind of like in it, like a down, like, like just kind of going through the motions and tired and just saying I'm tired. Like, yeah, I'm tired, and that's all. No, I'm not mad. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just tired, And, I was tired, but it's like I'm trying to just snap out of like funks and stuff, and it's easy to get in those, obviously, in this time. But, like I said before, you got to find a way to, better yourself during this, and you got to find a way to utilize the most of this time off, because you might not get time off like this again, This is like time off that, like, you'd be praying for almost, like, you'd be like, man, I wish I could just have, like, just a few weeks off to myself where I could just do what I want. Hopefully if you're healthy, like, that's how you'd be looking at, like, I wish I could just do what I want for a couple weeks, and, not have to worry about going to work or doing anything. Just maybe, obviously, you're probably going to have to chill at home, but I know that you can exercise and, get out if if you're really in a rut, or, you really need to, like, get out of your head. You can always, like, get out and exercise. There's always places you can go. And so it's not as if you have to be just cooped up in your house and, just staying in there. You can get out if you need to. and just know that. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're doing positive. I wasn't even sure how long I was gonna go today. I wasn't even gonna try to do 40 minutes, but here we are. We're doing nearly 40 minutes, a little more, and I'm just happy to just be talking here and just to still be healthy and, trying to maintain like that positive mindset going through this, because, I was looking forward to summer too myself. Like I said, I had big plans myself, and, there's bigger things than what your summer plans might have been, but now is the time to create that plan. I think though, I think that's the one key and the one takeaway is that like now is the perfect time to like create a plan. And even myself, that's what I think why, like before I end this, I wanted to talk about that, and it's good that I finally remembered it, because I'm just, like I said before, I'm going off the top of my head pretty much here. And one of the things I think, I don't know if it was the reason why I was getting in the funk, is that I was just trying to sort through what I'm gonna do in case this happens or this happens and this, and like multiple scenarios. Like I want to have a plan for in a variety of, in case of any situation happens. I want to have like a plan, like in case if I get any, if I don't have a job, like what happens then? This is what I'm gonna do. I'll have this much saved up, then all right, so this is what I'll do, or if I do have a job and then. But Red Rocks doesn't come back, and I just have this. All right, so this is what I'll do then. Maybe will I get a second job? What will I do? I'll do this. Maybe I'll go harder on starting this, developing this show into not something more professional. I don't want to say, but I don't know, something that that I want and that I've been working towards, I guess. So that's the key is in this. That's the one takeaway I'd say is to have a plan and know what you want to do coming out of this. Know like how are you is what you were doing going into this, is what you were currently doing in your job field. Is that what you wanted to do? Was that like just temporary, or was that your like what you really wanted to do out there? Was that your career choice? Like, is that your passion? Or are you just doing it just to get by? And that's something that you're going to have to kind of come to grips with, or like, come to like really think about, because you just, right now, you really just don't know. And even myself, like I said, I'm trying to, that's one of the reasons why I think I was just kind of like in like a little bit of a funk there. I was just kind of thinking of all these scenarios that could happen, and it's like getting me down, like, oh, what happens if this happens, this, you just can't worry about that, because that just adds more anxiety for no reason, it's unnecessary. So that's it, that's that. I hope you're doing well. Like I said, I hope you're happy, and I hope you're positive, and trying to maintain being positive. I know, like I said earlier, it's not easy, obviously, but there's certain ways to get through this, and one of them is to make a plan and try to enact it as soon as possible. Try to be like, all right, well, if we're gonna be in this for another month, this is what I'll do for the next month. If we're gonna be in this till July, all right, by the end of July, I want to have this, or I want to do this. All right, if we're in this till the fall, like, is this where I want to be till the fall? Anything. So just start thinking about that, and I hope, like I said, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're happy, and I hope you're maintaining positivity. But that is it. That is that. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to try to get back to doing this a little more than once a week, but, as I mentioned, I need to find a way to make this process a little easier so I can do that. But I hope you enjoy watching this. I hope you enjoy listening. And I hope you're well wherever you are. And I hope to talk to you again soon coming up here. Take care of yourselves. And for Living Color, this is Matt Woodward signing off.
Don't stop.